as mighty armies clash in a struggle for total domination.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back. I feel like it's been forever since I hosted Post Zero. I've just been so busy with everything going on lately. But I got Red Hawk and Archwinger with me. Upset that Jack couldn't make it today, and of course all the other guys as well. But we'll see if some of them trickle in. Anyways, Hawk, what's been new, man?
Not too much, man. Just been enjoying the summer. Been working like crazy, putting together all of this video of my safari and stuff. Trying to get my video editing skills up to task, and so it's a labor of love. But we're gonna try and get all that stuff sorted, hopefully by the new year. So that's basically what I've been up to.
Yeah.
What's the coolest thing you shot?
I shot a kudu. That was really cool.
So it's like that's a hoof thing with horns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just shoot anything that wasn't the hoof things with horns, like something exotic that was trying to eat you.
No, I didn't shoot any like cats or anything like that. Not this time, but in the future, yeah.
What's the safari policy? Like some lions messing with you, like are you supposed to shoot lions or you leave them alone because they're like important or endangered or something?
I mean, if you shoot it, you got to pay for it. So if even if something comes running out at you and you got to attack you, I mean, maybe you can get lucky and get a little bit of a discount, but it's actually kind of rare because they're kind of smart. They know what's up. They see guys walking around with guns. They're like, oh yeah, best stay away from that. And like the lions are kind of easy to avoid too because they roam around in big groups. So if you see one, you're like, oh okay, I guess we're not gonna go over there. But the leopards are the ones that are way more sneaky. But they usually only come out at night. So
leopards aren't like generally aggressive towards humans. Like if I remember correctly, there's like not many recorded deaths from leopards actually killing people.
The thing is like you can walk up on them, and because they come out at night, they like sleep during the day. So if you're like walking through the undergrowth, you could startle one, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I'm coming after you. But the thing you always got to watch out for is the buffalo. Those things are by far the scariest.
Really?
By far the most dangerous. Oh yeah, they kill more hunters than anything else combined. Yeah.
Even more than hippos, or?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The buffalo will kill more hunters than hippos, than lions, than anything, all of them put together. Yeah.
They got a pretty beefy skeleton, don't they? Like you gotta shoot them just right or they don't die.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on several buffalo hunts, and one of them it took 9 shots to bring the thing down, and every time you shoot it, it like stumbles a little bit and then gets up and like keeps running at you again. It's they want to kill you.
Jeez. Dave, what's up, man?
Dave.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, it is good to see you too. I haven't been on your channel in a while.
Yeah, I'm like I said, everything's kind of like settled down now. We're kind of moving into the last chapter of the whole kids saga here, and I'm finally freeing up a little bit of time. But no, man, it's good to see everybody. Arch, what's been new with you, dude? I'm always getting your emails. You're writing like crazy.
Well, I have a job where I, sit at a desk all day and have an internet connection. When I'm really pissed off at work, I'll just go to write something that sounds like I'm pissed off at someone else. But really, I'm pissed off at work, not women, not you guys, not whatever else is going on. I'm always pissed off at work.
Yeah, I got you. Well, speaking...
Okay. We got a baby coming out not long after yours. Our official due date September 7th, and so we're kind of getting the house ready for that. The wife's nesting a little. So the baby like dropped funny like a couple days ago. She's lying in bed, her pelvis hurts. So I'm just finished the little victories. I got a batch of pecan chocolate waffles finished at exactly the same time as my French press of coffee at exactly the same time as to go on Post Zero. So like just when that confluence happens, enjoy the little victories.
All the stars lined right up, and nailed it. Dave, I saw you were, I'm guessing this morning you were talking about like Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I saw they were selling at Costco yesterday. I have not kept up with Nintendo stuff at all, but and unfortunately I haven't checked into your channel in quite a while, but what's new with you, dude?
Oh yeah, I was playing Bonanza. It's awesome.
Nice.
Uh, I'm really enjoying it. I just been having fun. My birthday was yesterday. Spent it with the family.
Mhm.
It was a good time. Just really enjoyed it. Like I said, got a new game. Bonanza's a ton of fun.
Nice.
I just been busy between work. Work's not bad, honestly.
That's
Everything's
weird.
going
My
pretty
birthday's
well.
this week too.
Yeah, every July has tons of birthdays.
Yeah, right when my daughters do, like all my friends and family, their birthdays are within like the window that my daughter was supposed to be born, which is coming here in a few weeks. We have a date, but we're kind of keeping that under wraps. And I don't think it's on anybody's birthday, but we'll see. But it's like, yeah, my mom, my stepmom, my mother-in-law, all these people's birthdays are like right around this time. And yeah, even my wife's birthday is in 5 days. My dad's birthday is in a week. So like everybody's birthday is right around here. And everybody's like, oh, is she gonna be born on my birthday? My birthday? I'm like, she'll have her own. It's fine.
Yeah, Chad Elkins' birthday was just a couple days ago too.
I'm
So
like, great.
mhm.
It's May in our house. Our kids are 2 days apart. Our current ones
Mm.
anyway, and the wife is later in May.
Mm.
Like my daughter was like, he better not be born on my birthday. I'm like, well, we'll see. Babies come when they want to come. And he came 2 days early, and so he comes, and so we're in hospital. It's kind of like parent jail, and they don't let you out for like 2 days till your kid poops, and they're confident the kid's feeding and stuff. And so
Yeah.
on her birthday, we're finally released from the hospital. I dropped my wife and infant at home to sleep. Drive to my daughter's birthday. That was like pet zoos with giant animals, and everything. I'm dead tired. I haven't slept in 2 days.
Mm.
I'm sitting at one of the tables. I fall asleep on top of this shaggy white sheepdog. I'm just sleeping on top of this dog as a pillow. It's hilarious. I wake up with fleas and hair everywhere.
Oh, geez, yeah. I've been hearing from everybody that like, yeah, it's going to be a rough couple weeks, and I went and saw Pantera on Tuesday, and this kind of will get us into the theme of today's show. I went and saw Pantera Tuesday night, and I was almost on the fence about it, but I learned that if I ever like think about not pulling the trigger on going to a concert, I like 100% of the time regret it. So I'm like, all right, they're coming to town. It's my favorite band. And granted, two of the members aren't with us anymore, but like it's still cool to see. So I'm just gonna go by myself. Wife's too pregnant, and she went to one of my band shows. She said just her just didn't feel good when she was around like loud music. So I'm like, oh, I'll surely see a ton of people that I know. And sure enough, I did. And I hung out with just like some of my bandmates and some other people I used to play in a band with and other people that I'm friends with. So it was it was a good time. It was really, really cool. And I forget where I was going with that. But anyways, yeah, it made me happy to go to a concert. So I guess the theme of today's show was are you happy? Which is kind of like a generic question, but um I find that when I'm productive and doing things that I enjoy, and sometimes maybe not even enjoy, but kind of keep me busy, that generally I feel pretty good about my life when I'm busier and busier. And as of late, obviously we haven't done this show on this channel in quite a while because I've been so busy. I've been pretty happy about everything. So anyone can take it from wherever they want to go.
We say happy, like I think most of us mean like fulfillment rather than pleasure. Like, if I had $10
Right.
billion, I could do every single thing I wanted, didn't have to do anything I don't want. I mean, then you're chasing pleasure at that point. And, that's how you end up like on an island diddling kids or something because you've tried everything else, like a certain amount of fulfillment, I guess you need. I don't know. I think about this a lot, actually, this topic. It was really interesting to me because like I did everything I'm supposed to do. I studied hard. I went to college. I went to law school. I got a good job working for the man. I met a cool woman 4 years my junior, married her, had a kid when we were about the time we were supposed to. I work in a rat race every day for never quite enough money. I'm always just a little too broke. And like, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I'm not really happy. I did everything I'm supposed to do, and life's fine. We're comfortable. Like, we're not unhappy, but like doing what I'm supposed to do didn't make me happy. And so I'm chatting with the wife a lot about our son, and like, do we want to lead him down this track? Do we want to put him in the college track and preschool, and get him ready to go and live the same lives we do? It will be easy because it's what we know, and we know it turns out fine. But like, do we want to aim for higher than fine? It's a big risk. Like if we send down some non-standard path, maybe he ends up less happy. But I mean, we're not truly happy. We're just fine. Maybe it's fine good enough. I don't know.
Yeah, this is something I kind of think about quite a bit with obviously my daughter arriving here shortly. Is that I'm trying to go through all the things in my head that I think like how they should go and what I want, and then I also simultaneously try to realize that like the kid I'm going to raise even if I think I checked off all these boxes, kind of like you were saying, Arch, that like you did everything right, but you still weren't happy. I try to keep it in my mind that like even if I do everything that I feel is right for my kid, that there's still a potentially large chance that she may grow up and just think I'm the biggest asshole in the entire world, and that actually I did everything wrong in her and maybe other people's eyes. Like there's a lot of stuff that I kind of think about with this, and I'm like, I just have to keep in mind that just this is going to be an individual person that will have their own expectations, desires, wants, and there's only so much I can do to influence that. And even that may still be overstating how much influence I'm going to have on my own daughter, which, I don't think anybody really knows until you're kind of through it, if you will, as in like when they're an adult and off in the world. But even then, it's kind of like, okay, well, did I do everything right? And is my perspective right looking at this?
She'll never tell you out loud, but in 15 years, if her first boyfriend is just like you did good.
Yeah, Hawk, what about you?
Well, I mean, much kind of like what Arch was talking about going on the correct path, right? I think I could speak for a lot of millennials where we kind of went on the same quote unquote correct path that a lot of like Gen Xers and a lot of boomers went on. And by the time it got to us, it just was completely fucking busted. It didn't work literally at all anymore. So it's like, oh, okay, go down the college route and you're going to get yourself a big, nice paying job, and you're going to get that really attractive girl, and you're going to have that white picket fence and all that stuff. And of course, with various reasons, some political, some personal, some, outside of anyone's control, none of that stuff really worked out for us. So you had to go down the path of figuring out, oh, okay, you actually need to figure out exactly what makes you happy. And for me, I like going to exotic places and shooting stuff. That's what makes me happy. So damn it, I'm gonna go and do it. And so I did earlier this year. Went on my safari for a couple of weeks. I was looking forward to it for a really, really long time. People could complain about it, but who cares? It's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of funny because one of my coworkers, and he's in his mid 40s, he was kind of busting my balls about something related to our jobs, right? Like I don't know anything about diesel engines because it's just not something I ever researched. And he said, "Oh, you could tell everything about, Middle Eastern politics or something like that, but you don't know about, diesel truck coming in." And I kind of thought about it and I'm like, what really makes me happy is playing live music, doing stuff like this, or even sometimes playing video games. Like I've been playing a fuck ton of the remastered Oblivion, and like I sincerely enjoy that. And I'm like, my whole life doesn't revolve around fixing cars, and I work with guys and know guys who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. That's all they do. And are they happy? Yeah, maybe, but like I don't want to do that. Like, I fix cars enough. I've done it for 13 years. I'll do it to pay the bills, but once we're past that, I want to do what makes me happy. And that's, the amps behind me being cranked up super loud, going out, having a couple drinks, going to the beach, shit like that. Like that's what sincerely makes me happy. But much to your point, Hawk, also we had, even from like a blue collar perspective, right? We were always told, oh yeah, if you go to the automotive field, you can make six figures a year. Okay, well, anybody in the automotive field will probably tell you that does not happen. And if it does, it's usually one guy who is insanely talented. And this just happens in every single job. You're gonna have that one guy who's exceedingly better than everybody just because that's his natural gift. There's no other way to explain it. They're just naturally fucking good at it. But other than that, most of the automotive guys, you're probably going to be right around the median range. And, I make more than the average tech, but I'm not that level of, six figures a year, absolutely crushing it, but I don't have to be. I still live a good enough life regardless of that. So, yeah, Dave, I guess I'll pass that over to you, man. Good.
Yeah, as far as like job goes, I think I've been pretty blessed right now because I was working in it's like standard jobs. I worked in manufacturing for a little while, and like some of that stuff is just so structured that it just doesn't fit me. The fact that like you go in, you have to like make sure you're on time, like 5 minutes. You can't clock in any more than like 5 minutes beforehand. If you're 5 minutes late, then you get a penalty. It's like and then you have to like clock in like 5 minutes. You can't get overtime for certain things. Like there's so many rules, and like you can't do this, 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 and this. There's all this like gossiping and working with people. I found it so much more enjoyable when I was doing like even like just pool work, outside in the Florida sun, like 100 degrees, but I'm on my own. I'm outside, getting some sun, and just cleaning pools. So much better than manufacturing. It's not necessarily, it actually pays similar too, unless like
Wow.
the only way to do it is to like really like get into it, go up, do the trainings, like take this sort of path. And some people could do that, but just I found just both the structure and dealing with the people there, and like you've got this plan where you can't really necessarily exceed. I guess you could, but it's a lot of it's doing the like typical striver corporate thing where like you're sucking up to the boss, you're getting like a bit. My brother still works at that place, and he's like, oh yeah, you gotta like a lot of these people that they get a camper like a lot at this special like place that a lot of the executives or like higher ups get a place at, and like you kind of have to do that sort of thing that's how you get ahead and get promoted. And to me it just wasn't now. And now I'm like at a different job working with my brother, and it's a lot less standard, a lot more freedom. It's just so much more enjoyable. Like I don't have to talk to a single woman in my I have to do in my job, but like as far as coworkers, nothing like that. And it's just like, wow, that's just amazing. It's so it's good. It definitely makes me a lot more happy
Nice.
than trying to do the corporate thing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that you mentioned how almost like you didn't like the structure of kind of going into a workplace and the surrounding politics. And not that I necessarily love the surrounding politics of any workplace, but for me, like the structure is very important. Like I like my hours, I get to work from like 6:45 to like 7 every day, and I usually leave anywhere from like 3:30 to 4. For me, I really like that schedule, and in an ideal world, I would be doing something else. Like I kind of like going to the gym first thing in the morning, but like as far as a work schedule goes, for me, mine's like ideal. And but I could never get down with like what you're saying, how people, oh, we're gonna go camping at the same place the bosses and the executives go to. Like, no, I
Yeah.
really don't
They
care about
start
the workplace
they
bullshit.
start taking up pickleball because the CEO loves pickleball, and then they're wearing like the other job, like uh the president started wearing like this certain like phone case, and then like I saw like everyone beneath them have that phone case afterwards. It's like, it's just painful to see that kind of stuff.
I always
Yeah,
hated
that's what I was
that
saying.
corporate stuff where they try to get you for all of your free time as well. It's like, oh well, come to our happy hour on Thursday night afterwards and hang out with the rest of the team. I'm like, fuck you. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's like I'm here to work, man. I'm not here to make lifelong friends, dude. Just hate all that stuff.
Yeah, I've never found a company where I like my coworkers and like my company culture so much that I want it to be a significant part of my life. Like there's places I like my current job, like I don't want to like go out drinking with my boss.
Yeah, I mean, I like everybody that I work with, and I've like the shop I work in now is probably the best crew of guys I've ever worked with. But you're not going to catch me going out to dinner with them every single week, and that's perfectly okay. Like we could be tight when we're at work, but outside of work, we all have completely different interests. Like I'm not the guy that's going to go buy a boat or a fancy car, and this is something that we kind of fuck with each other about. Like I drive a 2009 Cobalt. It's the first vehicle I've ever owned. I got it early last year. It's the first vehicle I've ever owned that has power windows, right? And 2024 is the first year that I ever had power windows, that I didn't have a vehicle that had crank windows. And I'm okay with that. Some of the other guys like drive Cadillacs, drive these trucks and stuff, and that never interested me. I don't want to spend ass loads of money to just keep a fucking vehicle on the road. All it does is get me back and forth to work and where I need to go. I don't need anything fancy. Just as long as it keeps me safe, I don't have to spend a ton of money fixing it. I don't have to spend a bunch of time fixing it either. It's good for me. I see these other people just every weekend, every day, they're working on their own personal vehicles. I'm like, that sounds miserable. Like, Arch, would you want to sit there and constantly like litigate your own personal stuff 24/7? I guess probably not. Hawk, would you want to do all your own personal tax stuff? Probably not. Dave, would you want to sit
No.
there and spend all day cleaning your pool specifically? Probably not. That
No.
to me,
I don't know.
not
Pool.
appealing.
I mean, if jobs were fun like a party, no one would pay you money to do it. You'd be lining up to buy tickets or something. So
Right.
you know, and I mean, it seems like a commonality for us. I guess the four of us at least, maybe more more broadly applicable to like a lot of guys is like we seem to be happiest when we are outdoors or creating something. Like
Mhm.
I'm probably my most happy when I'm cooking or like in between work tasks. I'll get on the piano and I'll look up some chords. I'll play a song and I'll sing. Empty house, no one's there. I just like doing it. Or like I'm happiest when I'm writing. Like I would be somewhere outdoors typing a book on my laptop if I could do anything I wanted. Like I'm happiest when I'm creating and when I'm outside. I know this Hawk likes shooting animals, and Kyle, you like making music.
Yeah. I mean, I dig my road trips as well. I got one coming up in like late August. So I'm going to be gone for like 3 weeks, just doing like a huge circle around the entire country, which is going to be tons of fun. Go see a bunch of national parks, a bunch of hiking, go to a couple zoos and stuff, and it'll be great, man. I think I think something really just starts to click for dudes, especially because you kind of just get to that point where you really just establish a frame for yourself in your own life, and you really just like you get out of your dad's. I know that's a big one for especially a lot of like right wing people. Is you get out of your dad's frame, get out of your priest's frame, get out of the frame of people in your work or your siblings or your girlfriend or your wife or whatever, and the world is just your oyster at that point. It's like if that guy's not paying my bills, I don't really give a shit what he has to say about what I'm like, not doing in my free time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it cracks me up that you say that because I remember sometimes some of the guys I work with, you have to choose between being a rock star and being a mechanic. I'm like, this is who?
The fuck I do. Yeah.
Yeah, like I got paid vacation and I can come and go as I please because guess what? You guys don't pay me to be here. So whenever I'm done working for the day, I am gone. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go, we're gonna go play with Hinder. I'm gonna go play up in Erie. I'm gonna go play multiple different places. I'm gonna open for national acts whenever we get the opportunity to because it's fucking fun. It's a blast. I mean, like one of the coolest things I got to do last year was when we opened for Hinder and then like walked off stage and for like the entire time and then some after we played, there were just lines of people coming up to get signed or sign CDs, pictures, talk to us. It's cool as fuck. And then on top of that, we had a good time playing music, and that's just what we do. Like last Monday, we had the 36-week ultrasound and just kind of like check up, make sure everything's good, and obviously everything is good. No complaints there. But then after that, came home for a few minutes, cooked, and then went to my buddy Jazz's house where we record all our Common Crown stuff. And I literally just laid up the last finishing touches on the guitar stuff for the new Common Crown tracks. And like the entire time, I hardly touched my phone. And my mom had a little bit of a meltdown. Not like anything bad, but I think she thought the worst because neither me or my wife answered. And like when I was leaving, I saw these messages and missed calls, and she's like, "Oh no, your wife answered. Everything's okay." I'm like, "Okay, well, we're good then."
Yeah, I had to train my wife. Like, when we're in the car on the way home from the doctor's office, that's our time. I don't want you texting other people about what's going on with our family. Like, give it like 12 hours and then tell everyone how the ultrasound went.
Dave, what's up?
Not much. It is just funny. I was thinking about that the other day. Is like it's so hard for some people to advocate for their own self-interest. Like they almost have to like try to create this like morality around it. It wasn't like the thing specifically was kind of weird, but like there's like collecting cards, which is something I've been doing recently. Like there's like people that are upset about scalpers. Be like, if you don't open rip these packs open, like you collect the stuff or God forbid you resell it for a profit, then like you're somehow destroying the hobby and stuff like that. It's like they just want cheap product that's available. Like they want what's in their own self-interest. Like if other people weren't after it, though ironically it's the fact that other people are after it that makes it desirable to them too, but they can't admit it. They just want what's good for them, but they've got to like wrap it in like this other like I said, like this morality where it's like they're doing it right. what they want, and then the other people that are in their way are doing it wrong. It's not like I just want this, and you're in my way. You just sound like an asshole if you say that.
It's very
Like
like
chick who said like Bonnie Blues destroying OnlyFans or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the purity of it's been tarnished.
yeah, it's very feminine in the sense to like be appealing to these rules to actually just justify your own behavior, basically. I see like a lot of guys run into this where they feel bad about asserting their own wants and desires when it's not even related to like the hobbies. It could literally be anything else in their lives. A lot of this just stems from the fact that a guy asserting himself for anything is just seen as like the most faux pas thing in the entire world these days.
Shouldn't you be
Yeah,
making money, preparing yourself to have a family or something?
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't be
You're
playing
not a
video
hawk?
games. You need to be having like 15 babies every 5 minutes.
it's
Would you be a wife in Africa, Hawk?
Yeah, yeah.
it's a whole the Charlie Kirk thing of like you can't play PlayStation or do anything until your wife's perfectly comfortable. It's like, no, I think we could walk and chew gum at the same time. Where like, I obviously want my wife to be comfortable because she's bearing our kid, but at the same time, I'm still going to do what I want to do. Like I'm still going to go to band practice. I'm still going to go record music. I'm still going to play Xbox if I want to play Xbox. It's almost like
It's the
like I
world
said,
as man as a plow horse.
mhm.
Remember that scene from Office Space where it's like, before you do anything, ask, how is this good for the company? You know, it's like, how's it good for your wife? How does this serve your wife?
God, that movie should be required viewing.
I
for-
actually, on Father's Day, I sat down and watched it with my daughter. I thought it was important education. She thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Yep.
I was gonna ask what movie is that, man? I'm so bad with movies. So
Office Space.
Office Space.
Office. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah.
Made by Mike Judge, same guy who made Idiocracy, Beavis and Butthead, King of the
Okay.
Hill.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. King of the Hill. Yeah, that's my shit. So-
Yeah.
I've been
yeah.
telling all my neighbors like we got to start like streaming King of the Hill on a big projector because like it's summer, so the kids are out in school, so they're all out running around in people's yards. We're out till like 10 at night. We're all out like in the yard sipping beers, like just watching for cars in the street for the kids.
Oh my god, I love that show. There was a someone took that meme of the CEO at the Coldplay concert and they put John Redcorn and Dale Gribble's wife on it.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, that's probably one of the best. I know I shared the one with Dave Mustaine and James Hetfield, but I thought the one with John Redcorn was probably one of the funnier ones too.
I
That was,
really have to wonder
that
if
was funny. That was going around that clip.
yeah, I do have to wonder if Mike Judd actually intended to make like Hank Hill and stuff so likable, or like he was just trying to mock the sort of like more conservative things and it just doesn't work out. It seems like a lot of times in that where they try to make this sort of like caricature of like sort of like a conservative like right wing guy, and it just ends up being so much more likable than they wanted it to be.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that stupid, what the fuck is his name? Ron Offerman in that show. Is that I don't remember
Parks
what
and
show
Rec.
he's in. Parks and Rec, yeah. The dude's like a total shit lib. Like he talks about he needs it like how masculine it is to cry. And maybe it's just like autism on my part flaring up. But every time I'd see him, like, that dude's like a shit lib to the highest, degree. And people are like, oh, well, he's like this extreme anti-government guy in the show. And like people just always share those memes. And they've like, to your point, they made a caricature of like some anti-government guy, but it turns out people like really liked that guy. It's like the character, not the person himself.
Yeah, it always works like that. It's like maybe Helldivers, the actually it's supposed to be a satire on like fascism, but in the reality it's just so much fun to play as them and like, yeah, Super Earth, let's go. It's just fun. And no one we don't give a shit if it's satire.
Yeah, it's one of
It's real
those
to us.
memes again. Oh wow, the commie F slurs are siding with the bugs again.
Yep.
It's just
The killer
Every-
robots. They're the good guys. What are you
yeah,
talking about?
yeah. The people that want to enslave humanity and take their body parts into meat grinders to turn into their automaton factories. Yeah, those are the good guys. It's just
Yeah, it's
The anti-colonialists.
yeah.
I mean, there's common themes in media, like every Star Trek series is like supporting communism. Every Final Fantasy game, religion turns out to be the bad guy. These themes recur.
Mhm. Yeah, that is funny though, because like Dale Gribble, I think is probably like one of the most memorable characters in all of cartoons.
And everyone
But
knows that guy. You have a that guy in your circle.
yeah, and yeah, I don't know the specific guy who Dave. I think you named the guy who's kind of responsible for like a lot of that stuff. Is he like a
Good.
shit lib or?
I think so.
Okay,
I
it's
mean,
like
he's in that sort of space. I don't know if
Mhm.
was he on the Epstein client list or no?
Who
see.
fucking wasn't?
What list? There's
Yeah.
no list.
Yeah.
And
The
anything you
one-
remem-
the one
anything
thing
was
that you-
never a list. Anything you remember, Biden did it, and we've always been at war with Eurasia.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable.
yeah, and they also they didn't have video until they all of a sudden did have video. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's been a bad couple of weeks.
Yeah, like that like is really scary shit though. Like, okay, like if the president wants to stand up and say, I was wrong, I thought we had something we didn't, I had some bad information, sorry America, but he's like, what are you talking about? I never said that. Like, you fucking did. I remember it. Just don't disappear me into like some room where someone gets tortured to death.
Yeah, it's been such a clusterfuck. Like, I feel like Trump would have been better off to just not say anything about it. Like, granted,
just should have shut up.
yeah,
Shouldn't have
there's
said anything.
so
When has
there's
he ever chosen to shut up about something? Ever?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like this would have been the one time that just shut the fuck up, don't acknowledge it. But as soon as you start feeding into it, now there's just a whole public frenzy. And I've said it before that like this whole Epstein scandal really is like the perfect distraction. Like there's definitely something here, but it's the perfect slop because everybody gets worked up about it. And even if there is like something objectively true, nobody's going to believe it because everybody's so dug in on their side and what they think is true. And I don't fucking know what the exact truth of it is, but
It's critical pedo theory, man. You know, it's
what is actually going on in the real world that we're being distracted from? Like, what are they like? What's the real event? Because this is not the real event. Like, what's going on that I'm missing?
Yeah, it's who the fuck even knows? Because and like Trump is a master at this, at just keeping the media going. And there's been like little hints and tidbits of moments where he's done stuff like this. I think Megyn Kelly had said something, and not that I necessarily fully trust her, but I remember her mentioning something like she's walking out of a room after talking to Trump, and he said, it's not exactly good if they're not talking about us. And that kind of, and obviously you could see by the media strategy and the way that Trump approached the media that like that's what he wants is just people to constantly be going all over the place.
Trump will be a very good influencer.
Yeah,
Like, he could get like a Twitter career or something. You know, he doesn't need the money though.
No. I mean, he was for forever, and I would argue he still is. You know, I mean, he literally just tweets once and it destroys the entire world. Literally,
He was a Twitter president. He used to like say edgy stuff on Twitter, and that he was so surprised he won the first time, like he didn't know what to do. So he just kept like spending 4 years trolling the libs. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I remember someone sharing a picture, and I just thought it was funny. It had like a picture of Trump holding his phone, and it like pulled up the Google search, and it said like how to be president. I was like, that's probably about how it went too. And he's like, all right, so we're just gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna say this, and we'll just see how the rest goes.
Yeah, there's some South Park mini series where they satirize the whole presidential race, and he's like, "Don't vote for me. I don't know what I'm doing," and end up voting for him anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there was also something to be said for like this, obviously the 2024 election, and Trump just being the clear, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say empathizable, but like somebody that you could definitely empathize with. Because like when he was talking to Theo Vaughn, that was probably like one of the best podcasts ever because he's talking to this dude who like he's a stand-up comedian and his stand-up really isn't that good. But when you listen to him just like talking to people, it's hilarious. And Trump was talking about how his brother was an alcoholic, how he doesn't like alcohol. And I think that was very relatable for a lot of people because everybody knows somebody that was an alcoholic and that it just completely ruined their life. So when you hear somebody else, especially someone like Trump, talk about it, it's like, oh, like he's not inhuman. Like he relates to me in a certain way. And that was also the same appeal of the 2016 campaign when people were kind of talking about like the blue collar struggle, the struggles of seeing mass immigration and just like their quality of life getting worse and worse. And you had somebody that at least spoke to that. People like that.
Yeah, like the elitist robot lady, didn't stand a chance, because she's like, I know what's best for you, and then they did,
Mhm.
and then they tried again, like, stop running elitist robot ladies and like, just run real people. Like, if the Democrats ever want to get serious about winning, just run a moderate white male who's a little like a 60-40 on the left side. They would win by a landslide. I don't know why no one does this.
Mhm.
Because they
Because
don't want to win.
they don't need to. They just import millions of people and they win anyway. So,
But that is like a long game, like a really crazy, convoluted, twirl your mustache. Like you could win the election tomorrow if you just run a normal person.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they're so in their own end zone, and you could see this with specifically the Kamala Harris president or not presidency, but like presidential campaign. That they thought just doing more of what they did over the last 15 years would work again, but I think they failed to realize that just like everybody's quality of life had continued to get worse and worse, that you couldn't use identity politics in the way that they were using it to appeal to people and to get them to vote for them, and that's why they lost.
Yeah, it is that head up ass thing. Like, my
Yeah.
position is so clearly right to anyone with a brain, anyone who has any morals, that, if people don't get it, they must be too stupid. I'm just going to explain it harder. Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, see, my dog disagree or agrees too.
Yeah. Now talk about black presidential candidate dog barks. Yeah. Yeah. But
But all this stuff, like, discussing politics that you can't really influence and only affects you in the smallest way, going out drinking with your coworkers, like, hell, even going to church. Like, we have all these distractions, like, to kind of give us the illusion of happiness on top of lives that are fine, but, are not truly bringing us happiness. Like, debating politics on Twitter, that's fun, that's like a good hit of dopamine. It's not really very productive. Does it make us happy, or does it hide that we're less happy than we could be?
Yeah, it's definitely a good distraction. And I try to keep true to like, if you don't follow me or interact with me at all on Twitter, then I'm not going to give you the time of day. And even people who follow me, when they start arguing, I do have a tendency to engage. And usually by the end of it, I'm like, this person's probably not going to change their mind. And whatever I'm saying, even if I am using facts and evidence, data, this is particularly seen by when I talk to people about seed oils, just nothing gets through. And it's such like an uphill battle and you never get anywhere. So like, I sometimes have to be like, why am I even doing this? It doesn't make me happy.
It's many such
even if you
cases.
start with the common ground, like, I agree less processed stuff is good, but fat's still 9 calories a gram. Sorry about that. Like, you still can't even get them to admit to that common ground. It'll fight you on that on principle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the general rule of thumb is if I can get through like 1, maybe 2 exchanges with somebody, and then you can get a pretty good vibe of what their behavior is going to be like, and then you have to make the decision: do I continue this just to make an example of this guy and prove a point to everybody else who's watching, or do I just abandon it and not deal with this anymore and use that block button, baby? Block quickly and often.
Wield the block button righteously. I do it all the time. And one of my favorite things to do is people love when I start arguing about nutrition stuff to try and tell me that I'm going to be in the hospital and I'm going to have diabetes or something like that. Hawk, we've met a few times. I'm not like a bodybuilder, but it's funny. I literally had a lady sitting, my wife and I, after our appointment yesterday morning, asked me if I was competing in bodybuilding. So like, I'm sorry, like we could argue about I'm not, once again, I'm not saying I'm a bodybuilder, but like people argue with me about health stuff. I know like my physique isn't an argument, but I've never had somebody argue nutrition with me who could lift more than me, who looks better than me, and knows more than me. So I just putting that out there. People can argue with me all day, but like until you've benched 300 pounds, until you've deadlifted 500 pounds, until you squatted 400 pounds, it's just not going to take you as serious. I'm sorry. It just is what it is.
If the guy chatting with, he's like 200 pounds, he's looking for a miracle. He's like, maybe if I take this toxic thing out of my diet, I'll stop gaining weight. He's hoping for diet and exercise. You cannot beat diet and exercise.
No, and this is the thing, is that like responsibility over one's health is really like the ultimate thing. And people want to hear that it's some oversized conspiracy. There's hiding calories in the food, or like, the man's keeping you down. It's like, no, really, just hyperpalatable food tastes good. And until you recognize that and then find a way to either cut it out of your diet, manage it in your diet, and you lift consistently or active, that's the majority of it, right? And
Well,
like
this also
that
ties in
simple.
like to our topic. Like people aren't really happy. Like, a lot of times you get up and go to the fridge, you're not hungry, you're just bored. Like,
Yes.
you're looking for your next hit of dopamine because you don't like your job, you don't like your spouse, you don't like your kid, whatever's going on in your life, like you're not happy. And so you're trying to get a dopamine fix. And some people prefer food or, sugary sodas or whatever it is people do that's bad for their health. Other people spend too much time on social media, but whatever it is people do, like they're looking for their dopamine hit because whatever they're doing in their day to day is not giving it to them.
Mhm.
Yeah. I also think about this in regards to like when it comes to porn or betting and anything that really can be a sedation. Like I know we've all talked about video games a little bit, but like you don't want to do these things to excess, because at the end of the day, they can be something that's ultimately, you're doing because it kind of takes you away from what's the word I'm looking for? Like doing something more productive. Like you could still enjoy a blizzard, a drink or something like that, but like if you're getting plastered every night, like it's probably not good. My wife and I hang out with this one kid and he's talking about how he gets high all the time. I'm like, I don't know, man. If you smoke weed every day, like I think that's kind of a problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's like, happiness fulfillment versus happiness pleasure. Like, if you want to have $1 billion and smoke weed all day and that's all you're going to do with your life, are you happy, or you're just, chasing your next dopamine? Eventually, weed will stop doing it to move to hardcore drugs, and then your billions of dollars will have you diddling kids on an island. Eventually, that's where you always end up.
Mhm.
It's gonna be do you guys, it's like that law on the internet that any conversation eventually goes to the mustache man. That's gonna be the new thing. Any question on the internet immediately goes to the island diddling kids. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe we could replace that. I'm getting really sick of all like the Jewish question on the internet or something. Let's just move straight to pedophilia. I think leave it there.
Yeah. I think this wasn't controversial enough, so we're just gonna go straight to diddling kids. All right,
I think
that'll
everyone's
surely be.
pretty unified that diddling kids is wrong. There are very few people who think that's okay, and the ones who do always seem to out themselves in very obvious ways, and we know to stay away from them.
Yeah, we just import them to the Western world in their millions.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I remember that stupid motherfucker John Zerka was going around and like he was saying, he's like, I'm literally a pedophile, and I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know if that's the right thing to lean into. Like, I get
God.
lean into it.
God,
but,
wouldn't it have
like,
been great if that guy just, is some brave soul. I fucking hate this trend of what do they call them? Like the VTubers, like the people who
the
just go out
tubers, Twitch kids.
yeah, the people who just go out in the middle of public who are streaming all the time, doing the most ridiculous and
Oh, the
degenerate
nuisance.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nuisance VTubers.
Yeah, it's like, God, you know what?
Nuisance
Wouldn't
streamers.
it, yeah, it's like, wouldn't it just be great if one day some brave soul just has enough of it and exerts some good old fashioned, disciplinary violence on that guy in Minecraft in the middle of the street.
I think Johnny Somali
maybe
did
with
get knocked out.
Yeah, maybe with a 44 Magnum in Minecraft.
Yeah, I love that. There was something very entertaining about the whole John Zerka saga, where he was talking about I can't remember the guy's name, and I know I have it bookmarked, but he was like, "Oh, your mom's a whore," and he's talking all this shit, and then sure enough, bread tubing it up, walking down the middle of the street in Miami, and then he goes up to this dude while this dude's at a restaurant and starts trying to like fight him. And he just Zerka got his ass handed to him. He got slammed, and they were like rolling around in the middle of the street. I'm like, this is like so funny to watch, because literally you could watch the videos where he's saying he's like gonna bang this dude's mom and that he was gonna fight him and he was gonna fuck him up, and he just gets his ass whooped. I'm like, oh, this is just poetic justice.
Jeet behavior, all of it.
Yeah.
No, leave that in wrestling. It's you don't need to be a heel in real life.
Yeah, like especially like you go into a restaurant in the middle of Miami, like people are just trying to enjoy their night. And then you got this asshole rolling up with like 3 or 4 different people with cameras. And it's like, really? Like, not everything needs to be put on the internet. I don't understand this fucking fascination with just watching every aspect of people's lives. Like, especially, us who all do content to some degree or another. It's like not everything needs to be shared with the public, and that's okay. It just is what it is. You don't need to tell people every single intimate detail. And people who do shit like that, like what the fuck's wrong with you? Like Hawk said, it's essentially Jeep behavior.
Yep. I mean, that's literally like the dead internet theory right there, man. And people have this complaint that the internet is just getting progressively worse, that pretty much all of like our video game products are getting progressively worse with things like these microtransactions and ads and literally everything. And it's not dead internet, it's just G internet. Well, I mean, just look at the charts of average internet users in 1999 versus 2009 versus 2019, and you just notice that shoots right up like a hockey stick starting around 2017, 2018. The third world gets finally put online, and the really scary part is it's only like 1/4 of them right now that's currently on the internet, and it's already a complete cesspool.
I mean, you can see like a kind of dystopian future where like Archwinger, while he mentioned he had chocolate pecan pancakes, so like the pinned recipe pops up. Here's my influencer link for all the ingredients. You click on my affiliate links and buy it from Amazon. Like that's coming. He said chocolate pecan waffles like during the stream. No one cares what I ate for breakfast, but suddenly like I'm trying to like get affiliate content for it.
Yeah, Ryan was ahead of the curve when he wrote in his new sci-fi book that in the future you need to watch a Google ad to take a piss in your own house.
Yeah, I'm actually legit excited to read that. I'm gonna probably see a lot of like my own dark fears about Earth, like come true in that book. Like, oh yeah, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen there too. That's gonna happen there too.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want a good example of this, just go on Facebook. Like there's so many. It's either artificial intelligence or it's Indians, essentially. Like, I know I shared a screenshot to Twitter, but like you even start to see like Indian React channels, and like as soon as I see those in my shorts feed, I block them instantly. I'm like, I am not tolerating Indian reacts. Where like you see a titty girl,
like oh my god, he takes like other people's reaction videos and makes a compilation of them, and at the end he has his own comments about their reactions. Like this is Indian guy. It's like a mash of other people's reactions. It's crazy.
Yeah, but like there will be. Everybody knows there's titty girls, and as soon as you hit one titty girl on Facebook, your entire feed is populated with them. And then I mean this also works in like the direction of like guitar videos, cooking videos. So like if you hit one titty girl thing, the next thing you know it's all that, and then there will be like Indian reacts, and there's like some white dude that I blocked too. Like if you just do reaction videos of titty girls, you're getting blocked. Like I'm sorry, I want to see titty girls on Facebook if I'm watching that. Not that I watch it a lot, but like if it's there, I don't want to see some fucking Jeep talking about it or doing a shocked face. Like, no, fuck off my feed.
Yeah, maybe Indian recipes, like like stick with your culture, teach me something useful. Like I wouldn't mind making decent Indian food at home, a little cleaner, but decent food.
You don't want to eat it with your hands.
Right off the floor. Yeah,
that's Ethiopia with the hands and the bread grabbing. Like in India, I think they still use like some kind of utensils.
Half of them are posting from my country. He's from Canada. Real quick, let me get to the super chat from Albertino. Thank you so much for the $5. The problem is people are going to try to live vicariously through live streamers. Yeah, exactly. And like, I just.
Do you mean vicariously or do you mean vicariously? Because I could take that.
Maybe both.
Yeah, maybe both.
It is sad that there's an audience for that kind of content. I can't stand watching it. It really, I mean, besides wanting to see the guy get hurt, that would be the only. But I can see that in a clip, on my Twitter feed. I'm sure it'll show up. But the fact that people like that stuff or like talk about it, like what the hell?
We have like a lot of content now. Like some of the newer people are reaction content, or it's like this spurgy kind of ADD crazy mix, and like I can't do it. Like the Mr. Beast stuff where it's like jump cuts and loud noises. Like I don't know if this is me just becoming the old man yelling at clouds, but like when I see that stuff, just I can't pay attention to it. Like it's just too too spurty
Yeah.
for
What,
me.
Yeah,
what
and
is
then-
like the psychology behind reaction content? Like, I want to watch a movie and enjoy the movie. I have my own thoughts and opinions about that. I guess
Yeah.
if I watch a YouTuber watch the movie and react to certain parts of it, I feel validated if they think the same way I did about the movie or something. Like, what is the psychology for even wanting to see reaction
Yes.
content?
Yeah, this is the really dark part, and this is when you become a reactionary, where you get to the inevitable conclusion that mass literacy was a mistake, and we shouldn't have even gone that far.
Yeah, well, I'll only defend reactionary content in this respect, like as in like people doing reactions. There's a singer, the voice, I can't remember what her name is, but she's a redhead who I think lives down in Florida or something like that. She has a couple kids, and she was like an operatic singer, but she'll do reactions to like heavy metal singers. And to me, that's fascinating because she like describes what's going on in their throat. She's doing research on like how to better improve people's vocal cords and make sure that like they're getting the most out of their voice. And when they do harsh vocals, she wants to learn more about basically just like making people better at singing. So like in that respect, I'll defend those kind of reactions because it's kind of like, oh, well, this is somebody who sings for a career and she's understanding what different singers are doing. But just like random people reacting to stuff, I don't really care that much about it. But like if you're an expert in a field and you're explaining what's going on, like, okay, that's interesting. But I don't want to just see random people talking about stuff. I mean, I guess we're kind of doing that here, but like just reacting to different music or the latest trend, like that to me is not interesting. But like if Hawk, right? Let's say Hawk was watching somebody else hunt and he was explaining what's going on. Like that's cool, but I don't, like I said, I don't want to watch me comment on how this girl twerked or walked into a club because who gives a shit?
That is fair. Like, I do like watching, like, there's this pianist I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel, and like he like analyzes like popular music, video game music. He's like, it just sounds this way and works because of these chord transitions and doing it this
Yes.
way. Like, that's interesting to me. He's reacting like, this is really cool. He has a reaction, but it's cool because insert his expertise. He's not just
Exactly.
like, wow, I can't believe Batman did that. Like, who cares?
Yep, I think we're pretty much all in agreement on that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it mostly sucks.
Yeah. It seems like most content now is kind of shifting over to that. And yeah, I don't know what the psychology is exactly behind like the spurgy edits, because I know people that watch that stuff, or even like the kids growing up watching other people play video games. To me, I'm not very interested. Like
Yeah, I don't really get Twitch, man. I've never watched a single thing on Twitch, like literally ever. I don't
this guy
understand
Caleb
why I would
Hart. Okay,
watch. Yeah.
he played these Mega Man games. And he would play them with his shirt off, and girls would give him tips, like better tips, because like his shirt was off. He was playing Mega Man. I'm like, oh my god! If I had known that was a job people could do, he's living my life. I would have skipped law school. I would be playing video games with my shirt off. Like, how did I not know this?
I think the only thing cool I've seen on Twitch is like some musicians. The one that first comes to mind is like Matt Hafey from Trivium. He'll do different covers and different renditions of his own music and other people's music on Twitch. Like that's cool, but I don't want to watch other people play games. I'll watch musicians perform because it gets back to the point we are making earlier, like basically expertise. Like I'm watching somebody practice, and like the way that he describes it is like, oh well, I need to practice and I also like to kind of keep in touch with my fans, so I'm practicing by doing live streaming on Twitch. So that's cool, but to watch somebody else play a video game, I'll maybe do that to see like, okay, well, how does this game play? Like there's a game I downloaded, it's in a demo right now called Ferocious, because I'm like dying for a good dinosaur game like Turok, right? They're coming out with a new Turok soon, but I want to play a good like first or third person shooter that has dinosaurs in it. That's a lot of fun. There was a game called Second Extinction. Unfortunately, it never got like I don't think it like got well enough funded to get released, but it was basically kind of like a with Apex Legends, where you kind of drop down and you have these different classes and there's dinosaurs. The game was really good, but I guess it just didn't have enough popular support. I want something like that. So I'll watch people play a game to kind of get a feel for how it's going to play, but I will not sit there and just watch people talk. I won't watch Destiny for more reasons than just the fact that he's like the worst person on the internet.
That's an interesting niche there. You woke up one morning and like, I want a game where I shoot at dinosaurs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a very specific niche. Like, not just a first-person shooter. The things I shoot must be dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like actual Earth dinosaurs, like a Triceratops over there.
Dinosaurs are cool, man.
Like not like like dinosaur-like creatures, but like actual Earth. Like that's a Triceratops, that's a T-Rex. Not like just lizards, but like I want to shoot like recognizable Earth dinosaurs.
Yeah. So there's a game called Carnivores that I used to play back when like PC gaming was pretty rough.
Dude, I've got that game on my phone.
Oh, it's so awesome.
I had that way back in the day.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like I remember I think it was the T-Rex. The only place you could shoot it was right in the eye. And they had like a specific measurement. I think it was like toes or something like that. And they said, like, this is how big a dinosaur's eye is, and this is the only spot you could shoot it. And all the other dinosaurs had specific spots where you had to shoot them, and you got dropped on an island, and it was so much fun. Like, it was so simple, but it was fucking awesome. But like, I don't understand how in 2025 we don't have a game similar to that that's just that straightforward. Like, why can't we make something like that where it plays as smooth as something like the latest Halo, but there's dinosaurs? Like, nobody can seem to get like a good new IP out there anymore, and it's so upsetting.
Because hunting is mean, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody does that.
And you can't tie into with like Family Guy or some bullshit. How do you tie that into some retarded IP DLC? Nowadays, it's
new games in general just kind of lack the charm of older games. Like a cute blue robot who shoots bullets at a guy who just an enemy robot who's like throws boomerang scissors at you because he cuts things. Like that's his thing. He cuts things, and there's no there's no deeper intellect to it. There's no meaning. There's no propaganda. You just shoot shit.
Yeah.
And then you beat shit, you get stronger and shoot more shit. Like
I don't know if it's right to say necessarily gaming peaked around like 2012, but that was like when the last like good rendition of games came out. So like there was Mass Effect 3. I don't know if it's exactly 2012, but I would say probably like 2012 to 2015. That was right when
it's definitely around that.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like most games tapered way.
That's how
off
my
since
daughter
then.
was born, and her generation, they all play like Roblox and crap on their tablets, so they don't play like real games. And so like I think like just the demographic changed. Like kids aren't playing the games we grew up with.
Roblox might be better now than the other games made. It's like these is probably like one or two guys just like, here's this fun version of this game I like in Roblox. But now like everything's like super optimized. It's made by corporations with like focus groups. It's not just a guy with a vision or like a small team with a vision making something that's they think's really cool because they want to make it. It's like, how do we make this other franchise, this IP, more popular? Add in some other like addictive loop where people want to play it. It's like blinking lights and a level bar.
Every once in a while, like you kind of pick up on a game you wouldn't have seen. Like you'll see it on Twitch or something. Like someone's playing some indie game you've never heard of, like Shovel Knight or The Messenger or something. Like you're like, oh, that's really cool because that actually was made by a small team of guys, and maybe they got picked up by a big company, maybe they didn't. But like there are indie people out there making cool games. And I imagine 99% of them flop, but there's the occasional cool game you'll catch if you pay attention to like that kind of internet sphere.
Yeah, the most recent one I could think of that was an indie developer that I felt knocked it out of the park and like a game that I would recommend to people consistently. It was a game called Ashen, and it was kind of like a Dark Souls-esque kind of game where it was all the graphics weren't like super high definition, but it had a good story. The game was pretty linear, and like the environment was gorgeous. It was fun to play, and there wasn't any like they had a DLC, how you would get DLC back in like 2010, right? Where you would play the full game was awesome, and then they were like, hey, here's like another addition to the story where you go on a different island, you do a whole different set of quests. It takes you a few hours and it's enjoyable. Like that was like peak gaming 10-15 years ago. Was you get a game with a solid campaign, and then they add some DLC that just gets a little bit more life out of it. And then, if you want, you go back and play through the game again on like a harder difficulty with maybe some different skins or something like that. Like that's cool. But now it's like you get sandbox games, you get walking simulators, and you get remasters now. That's pretty much all you get anymore.
I mean, right now, if you're like, a regular dude, you want to make a game, like you've got a real job, you have a family, like, you can't just
Mhm.
sit down in your spare time, code a good game in the cracks. I mean, that's why a lot of these games are kind of mass-produced slop, is because you almost have to go to a company, pitch your idea, be given grant money to live on, spend your time coding the game. It's got to meet all their criteria. You can't really always make the game you want.
Mm.
That's kind of how products get made. Like just some dude sitting in his basement coding something awesome. It's unlikely to be awesome because he's got real life obligations, a job and money. Like
Yeah.
actual indie people who knock out of the park. That's they're popular because it's such a rare thing to happen.
Yeah. And even like in the indie space now, like it's so hard. There's so many people making games. It's so hard to stand out. Like Steam had their Next Fest, and when they said thousands of demos, they literally mean thousands of demos. I assume it's like the same thing with writing. There's so many books out there. Like, how do you get your book seen by the people you want to see it? It seems so hard, and
I've
and
been led
if
to
you're
believe you troll around on the internet and make a name for yourself and
yeah.
then put books out.
Yeah. I guess, and I don't know what the video game equivalent is of that. I guess maybe you get on Twitter and you talk shit about, other games and then release that. But and even if like you're not on trend with what's popular in indies, like like roguelikes are super popular, or like things like Vampire Survivors, or like, Baltro style games where it's, this like roguelike with like some randomness and like meta progression. It's hard even for them, if the simple like one or two guys, because you have to do it all
Yeah,
between that and marketing.
I almost wonder if just some of these indie developers just need to get into like bigger companies and essentially take them over, which I feel like that's a Herculean task if I've ever mentioned one into existence. But like, how else are you supposed to get the team assembled, the marketing, and all the dominoes to fall in place? Because, like Arch said, you're probably dealing with a guy who has like aspirations to make a great game. Like, he grew up playing Halo 2, Mass Effect, Call of Duty, you name it. He grew up playing it, and he has this vision in his mind of this new IP that's going to sell just like all these games. But how do you get it? How do you put all that into motion and then get it to the masses and
We might
then
see more
have
of that though. Like AI is allegedly really good at coding, really bad at other stuff, but it can write you
Mm.
code. Like I think one of the hurdles, like if I'm some indie guy sitting down, I've got to like, draw dinosaur art pixel by pixel by, manually. I can just tell AI, like, put out this asset, make this thing. And like, I think there's a lot of like we could kind of optimize a lot of the things that would take guys like weeks and weeks of like drawing
Yeah.
pictures and writing code.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a good point too. And I think people lean on AI too much. It's definitely a tool, but I see people doing this now where it's just at Grok for everything, which I know Hawk had like a
You
semi-viral
can say,
thing.
Grok, draw me a Triceratops, and I could take
Yeah.
that, make some edits as my game art now.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Grok, get me like a collection of Triceratops, and I'm going to find one that fits the best, maybe make some adjustments, and then run with it from there. But like, I see people just they outsource everything to AI, and
Mhm.
like one of the prime examples I could think of AI just completely fucking somebody was I posted. I think I said something to the degree of like Jesse Leach, who's a singer for Killswitch Engage, is an incredibly underrated vocalist, and the one of my friends had said like at Grok, who's Jesse Leach or something like that, and there were two singers for Killswitch Engage: Howard Jones, who's a big fat black dude, and then Jesse Leach, who's like this skinny white dude. I'm not even kidding. Grok literally said the skinny white dude, Jesse Leach, is Howard Jones, the singer from Killswitch Engage. I'm like, like you could Google this and it would come up like accurately, but clearly AI isn't reliable enough. Like they'll give you the sources and everything, but nobody clicks that far ahead. They just like, oh yeah, if AI said it, it has to be true. Well, no.
Should tell you something about the average person outsourcing much of their thinking.
Models hallucinate a lot, though. Like they are often wrong, but they sound convincing. Like you could go on right now and tell Grok, like, "Hey, go to my Substack and tell me some of my viewpoints." And Grok will. And you're like, "That's wrong. How'd you get that? Show me the quotes." He'll show you the quotes. I'm like, Grok, I did not write that at all. That's not me. Hey, Grok, where did you get this link? Where is this from? I don't fucking know. Like, but
I made it up.
like they just make shit up. They hallucinate. Like LLMs are dumb.
That's the other thing with the AI helping people make games. Like it might help like some really good talented people with good ideas make games, but it's also going to enable like a million Chinese and Indian people to make absolute trash. And like at that point, like, is it just going to be like this Steam going to be this trash heap of AI asset like games where you have to like sift through it to find
Oh
like
yeah.
the one guy that has like a good idea and
Yeah,
isn't making like
you on Steam looking for a video game, that'll be like a girl on online dating trying to find,
Yeah.
like a guy who's hot and not an asshole.
yeah, and likes 300-pound 30-year-old women.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we kind of touched on pretty much everything I wanted to talk about today. If you guys don't got really anything else, I think we could go around, do plugs, give our summary of the show, and whatever you guys think. So we'll start with Hawk. Go ahead.
All right. Pretty much, guys, one of the beauties of being a man is that you get to make your world how you want it to be. Nobody else can tell you otherwise. It really is nice in that regard. So go out there, do what makes you happy. For myself, check out the OGC. That's where pretty much all of my stuff can be found these days. And always a pleasure to talk with you boys.
Of course, Dave.
Every Sunday before Post Zero, 9 a.m. EST is Scar Thumb podcast where I talk about video games and all this other stuff. We talked about Steam payment processors, like leaning on them. We've talked a lot about Bonanza. I even played it live. It's super fun. There's not a lot of good video games, but I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is one of those this year that's a gem. If you got to switch to, it's definitely worth your time playing.
Yeah, to that point, real quick, it does seem like Nintendo has been one of the only companies that consistently puts out good games, like true to what they've always been, which is kind of a surprise.
It's the people. They retain a lot of their lead people. They
Mhm.
haven't been bought out by another company, but they're not going to live forever. So it's just them cultivating their own talent and keeping people around that makes a difference. Because most of the time, like Blizzard is not Blizzard that made Diablo 2.
Yes.
Everyone's gone. It's totally
Mhm.
different. It's just the name is the only thing that stays the same.
Yeah, and that's why, like, if you play vanilla World of Warcraft versus like World of Warcraft today, it's so different. But my memories of playing Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, and vanilla World of Warcraft will remain with me forever. But playing Cataclysm, just it wasn't the same game. It wasn't as enjoyable anymore. And kind of like we talked about a little bit earlier, microtransactions, and now like, oh, you could build your own city inside of a city. Like, what happened to just you have a comprehensive world that is what it is. You go do dungeons, you go kill shit. It's a blast. You do raids, and that's the game. It's not like just this endless grind and microtransaction after microtransaction. Don't want that anymore. But that's essentially what World of Warcraft has become. So yeah, Arch, what do you got?
It's a tall order for any game, like just to pass up like Super Mario World. That's more fun than a lot of modern games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, we talked about happiness today. I think I am my most happy when I'm like writing stuff and pissing bullshit out of my keyboard. Not all of it's good. Every once in a while I get a good one. The other 90% of it sucks. But like if I don't get it out of my head, it gets in the way of the good stuff. So yeah, if you like my writing style, archwinger.substack. I also troll around on Twitter for fun. I take the opposite of Kyle's advice and I engage with people just to see what happens because sometimes it's funny. But yeah, that's my shtick.
Cool. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, rock and roll and take care.